Where you been? 9:30.
In my drawers. Sorry.
You and Cabana.
I was like, I was in my drawers. There was a lot going on.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
No.
There was a bathroom emergency. Praise God.
So you had to run all the way to Hardee's?
You know what I'm saying? Had to run into Hardee's and get that thing cranking.
My.
I've been doing the CMOS, man. It's like, whoa.
He had to go.
All right, y'all. I think we are live now. So please do your parties.
Yes. Let's get into it. I'm gonna be cooking all kinds of sandwiches on camera so far. So sorry. I'm hungry, as always. Uh-oh.
All right, I think I just saved that. And all right, I'm gonna play the song. Please, guys, get your watch parties going.
Woo, woo, woo. Ah.
Yeah, let's do this.
It's gonna be interesting as hell.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This your girl Dizzy with another No It's Gonna Be Funny What You Got to Say episode. I got my crazy co-host in the building. What's up, cool Candice?
What up, y'all? It's time to chop it up.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Tyrone Greggory?
Hey, y'all already know what it is. Gang, gang.
All right, what's up, Mr. Cabana Blaq?
Hey, y'all, I'm that dude. So excited about the show.
And last but definitely not least, Miss Kela Mahogany.
Come on, Mom.
Hey, y'all. They trying me today. They trying me today.
Look, I'm on your side. Don't do it.
Look.
That's my twin.
Look. All right, so this is what we about to do. We know y'all saw it. We know y'all heard about it. Hopefully y'all went to go view it. Hopefully you've talked about it, done some self-reflection. Kevin Samuels and the female he dragged on his show that made it to World Star Hip Hop. Now, just in case you guys don't know who Kevin Samuels is, Kevin Samuels is an image consultant, branding identity consultant, and media branding, kind of all that thing. He is the one that kind of can come in and flip your image to be ready for like high profile job interviews, high profile presentations, image consulting, basically. Most of his customers are men, but he does do image consulting for women as well. But he has a whole series on YouTube where he discusses high value women and high value men. So, and he, as he said in his, now, I saw the clip on World Star, so we're going to discuss today the clip that we saw on World Star, because we did post it on our What You Got to Say Facebook page. Then we're going to discuss that clip that made it live, made it viral, versus the whole interview that he actually did. Because we all know how media likes to cut things and make things sound real crazy when in the context it may not be as such. Then we're going to talk about, is he correct in what he was saying? Is she correct? Did she come correct in what she was saying and what we feel as a whole? So I will tell you, this was a very heated and funny discussion in our inbox, and it carried over to our What You Got to Say page as well. So I think the first, let me explain, before we get into his video, I want to explain his Kevin Samuels' definition first, his definition of what a high value man is first.
Woo!
So high value men are making at least $10K a month consistently for 3 to 5 years. They have to have a group acceptance among other high value men. They need to have a network of other high value men, their position or who they must be in some sort of position or place of visibility in their community. And they must have utility, which is the usefulness to the group and to others, the ability to influence.
Mind you,
So,
about being a good
do
person.
you guys feel that it's his definition, so it ain't gonna change even if we don't agree, but do you think that high value, is that an accurate depiction of what a high value man is? Anybody, go.
Who do you want to go first?
I don't care, because I know we all ready to talk, so I'm good.
Greg said, "Nah, I'm good."
No, I'm good. For me, I agree and disagree because it depends on where his definition comes from. If he's talking about the physical, just the physicality of high value, where you're looking at dollars and, you know, status quo and all that kind of stuff, then of course people look at numbers, they look at your network, they look at, you know, who you surround yourself with. But the things that he's saying are the result of it. You can not have that and still be a person that has a big network. Mm-hmm. And be able to pull a lot of things just off of your name by your ethic and how you do. So I feel like a high value man is first and foremost the work ethic and what he produces, as opposed to what he has received from the production of his work. Okay. You know? So that's kind of where I am with it. So I don't know if he was, you know, putting his definition on, you know, the physical side of it.
Okay. Fair enough.
He's just talking about the money per se. That doesn't mean he is as a man is worth anything. Period. Like, just because you have the money and status, you don't have to have all that money to have status in your community.
No.
You see what I'm saying? High value men don't have to have a whole lot of money to be of value.
Okay.
So I don't agree with him at all. Period.
Okay.
I'll say high value men. I don't necessarily agree with you, Greg. Although men can have high value in their community and not have a lot of money, but in this instance, for this particular scenario that the guy we're speaking about is in reference to, she's talking about money. And you know, I'm thinking more so of the average person, although they would want someone who's more well off, they tend to lean more towards someone who is of more value to them mentally, physically, spiritually, and someone that they can build with and someone that they can trust their kids with. So that's my thinking as far as the average person is concerned. But in this particular scenario, she looking for somebody who got money that can take care of her. She may be able to take care of herself, but she's looking for someone that is completely well off and that she doesn't have to bend over backwards to take care of, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Now, I was going off of the definition.
That's okay. It's okay. Oh, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Don't worry.
Talk about the scenario yet.
Yeah. Kela?
Yeah, his definition is terrible because in his definition, Trump is a high value man. Epstein is a high value man. So no, he needs to add a couple things before he says what is and what is not a high value man.
Okay. So I will say that I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Okay.
Yeah.
You can add that to my blooper reel. Okay. So I've watched like 10 or so of his videos, and that seems to be the consistent goal, the consistent theme through all of his videos, is that he is talking and giving advice to women who are specifically looking for high value men in accordance with this definition. And now, I don't know about how many women care about group acceptance with other high value men, unless you just want to hang around a whole bunch of ballers, whatever. I don't know if women really care that much about a man's network. I don't know. I think some women do care about visibility, of the type of men they're trying to get, these high value dudes. And I don't think they really care that much. They do care about utility. The money, I think, is the starting point for them, and then what comes along with it is, you know, the bells and the whistles. So I feel that for who he's speaking to and the services to who he offers these services to, this definition is good for that reason. But I don't feel that people's value are held in how much they make and what positions they hold. I don't believe that at all. But I believe that based off what he's trying to, the market he's talking to, and in the job that he does, this definition is sufficient. It's not good.
That's all it is. It's sufficient.
Right, it's sufficient.
But that's the thing. In order for him to even have a show and a talking point, this has to be his belief before any of that, because he catered to men and now he's catering to women. So I look at it as like, this is what you feel, period. And looking at kind of how he talks and his positioning, I feel like that's what he believes. So I think that's the most important thing to understand. I think that this is how he thinks. I don't think it's really because he's talking to her. I think
no, not at all.
Because he really believes that this is what a high standard man is, especially because he considers himself that and what he's accomplished.
Correct. So then I watched a video where he explained what a high value woman was. So he said that high value women are appealing, attractive, mind, body, and spirit, attractive, mind, body, and soul. They have discernment. They have discipline. They are comforting. They have a comforting character, and they are loyal.
All of a sudden, he can look into the person. All of a sudden.
There's characteristics on that side. There's one-sidedness. There's sexist behavior in that definition, because this definition should be the same for the woman. And that goes back to what I said before. This is a man, to me, who has a traditional belief on what men are and what women are, because now you're talking about personality. You're not talking about money. You're not talking about her being a CEO or her running her own business and taking care of her family if she is a single mother. You're talking about what appeals to a high maintenance, and I'm gonna say the word again because I didn't say high standard. I said high maintenance man, because I'm very high maintenance, but it doesn't mean that I look at someone just because they ain't doing what they're supposed to do and be like, yeah, you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. I get it. Everybody has their come up. So I feel like it's more of a high maintenance man that's having the discussion with, quote, average people in his head.
Okay. Anybody else?
He hit the nail with that one.
That is that.
So in one of his videos, he said, he was explaining how, if you go back to, I know we had a show before about traditional roles, what traditional roles were and then what they are now. So in the show, he was discussing about how, women, he feels that women want men to do the things for them that they used to do, like your grandfather, be the gentleman, be the provider, all of these things that we have as characteristics of a man's man, what men are supposed to do for women. We want the men to provide those traditional roles. However, women no longer want to provide the traditional roles that they were assigned back whenever he's referring to. So before, obviously we know granddaddies, your granddaddy or whoever was going to work all day. Grandma might not have been working. She was taking care of the household, taking care of the kids, so on and so forth. I guess catering to him when he came home, whatever that traditional role looks like. So he mentioned that so women said, well, I want to work and I want to do this and I want to be independent and I want to bring home this and I want to be a business owner and I want to do all these things as well. And with a fight, but men said, all right, cool. But then also I said with a fight, Kela. All right, cool. And then when you have, as Kela and I were discussing before, you have these modern day women that have expectations of what they want their man to be like. But since the women changed, the men have also changed to adapt to the change in the modern woman. What do you feel about that?
Some men have changed, not all, because some men are still trapped in that. Well, I can't say trapped, but some men still think like that 1950s, 1960s. I'm supposed to go out. I'm supposed to work. I'm supposed to, bring home the bacon. I'm supposed to fix on the house. I'm supposed to fix on the cars. And, I expect my wife or my woman to stay home, make babies, cook dinner, make sure my food's hot, bring me a beer when I want it. Here's your house shoes, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Some guys thinking like that.
Right.
Maybe a small number of women who still think like that, but they're still there. On the flip side, the men who have adapted to the women that are like, I want to be a CEO. I want to run my own business. I can work and I can take care of my family. I can provide. I can do all these things in addition to help take care of my family. So some men have changed and they have grown and they have progressed. And are like, okay, this is what you want to do. I'm gonna let you have that role. You pay these bills. I'm gonna pay these bills. You want to go out and work. All right, handle your business. If you want to go on vacation with your girls, go have fun. Some have progressed in their thinking to that point, but the blurred lines, so to speak, is when you link up with that woman who wants those things but doesn't want how can I put it? The whole, you want your cake and eat it too. Like, okay, it's cake. I'm supposed to eat it, right?
Right.
Technically, but if you are going to go that far, you got to jump in with both feet. You can't teeter-totter the line and be like, hey, I want to do this, but I'm not doing that part. I'm staying over here on this side.
Right.
What are you going to do?
Okay.
Can you repeat the question?
My question is, what do you feel about all that shit I just said? What do you feel that is the case? That
old-fashioned.
Women have changed. Women have we have a different. You have the modern day woman.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. I'm
and that are still expecting men to provide and do the same things they were doing back in the, let's just say 50s, because I don't know what era that was. But back in the 50s, they want the man to still do all of these gentlemanly things, and then on top of that, be this modern day woman. And I don't know, maybe not expect the men to adjust or change or whatever.
I don't really, he is conflating a whole bunch of things, because number one, you can't expect to give women the right to vote, the right to work, the right to, earn money on themselves, by themselves, to where they don't have to marry a man in order to survive.
Right.
And then say, we still want the world to be the same way. Like, it's just not possible. And so for those men who are looking for those traditional women, they're still there. You know what I mean? But if we live in a society where there needs to be two people making that money, it makes it almost impossible for it to actually come to fruition.
Right.
And that is that piece. If we lived in a country, like if America was a country where the one person could stay home, then I'm sure a lot of families would do that. And a lot of, maybe people would be happier. But because there needs to be two incomes, the woman has to go out and work. And then you expect her still to be traditional when she comes home? Mm-hmm. Like, how does that work is my question, because that means that you are putting the burden of your relationship on the woman. That, just like he was making a definition that this woman has to be have all these characteristics, nothing about what she is in her professional life, if she has one. It sounds to me that she should not have one because she is simply there to cater to that man. Mm-hmm. And you can't want that and want her to work. And I think that's where the mix-up comes. That's where the conflict comes from. I don't think it's necessarily that this is what people want, because people want to relax more. You know what I mean? We really don't want to work more. And so if a couple could come together and say, have that privilege to have one of them stay home and, you guys really build your relationship from that standpoint, then I think people would think differently. So to me, it's about the money.
Okay. It got to be about the money, because it's hard to do that. If you look at where we are in society, damn near for you to remain afloat, you got to have two people bringing money in, and especially once you bring kids into the picture, okay, to a certain extent, I can teach my kids certain things. I teach you how to tie your shoes, wipe your butt, go to the bathroom, eat your food, stuff like that. But it's come time to like education stuff. Okay, my kid needs to go to daycare, interact with other children, get some social skills, stuff like that, besides just their siblings. Okay, now we got to pay for daycare, but we still only got one income. Yeah. Daycare is $1,000, $1,500 a month. Like, if one person is working, already paying all the bills in the house, plus you got to now add in daycare, the kids are growing out of their clothes like weeds. Right. They're growing out, tearing up their shoes, socks and underwear and undershirts. You got to buy all of that shit, plus pay for the cars, the insurance, the mortgage, the house, the light bill, the electricity, the water bill. So you're paying all of this with one income. How? I mean, for someone who is well off that can handle that, by all means, handle your business. But for the average person, you damn near got to have 2, 3, 4 incomes in your house for y'all to really be able to stay above board and be able to relax and enjoy yourselves. Right. So it's hard.
And so that's what I'm saying. And if a high value man is saying, okay, you can stay home, then he needs to add that in to his talking points.
That's another thing is, I just want to say this also.
High value men, those are the ones that are keeping that traditional mindset going anyway. They're the ones that are saying, you stay home, I'm going to take care of everything. Because the realistic world is, we're sharing the roles now. And most
that's not what I heard from him.
Yeah, and let me say this too, because I come from a background of a traditional woman. And I come from a background from a traditional man. Even though my dad, he wasn't like, this super rich person, let me say these women do exist. There are women that like to take care. It's not even about a man. Let's get that very clear. It's not about a man. There are women out here, and I've met several young ladies, and I'll have discussions with them, but men, and there are women that just like to take care of people. Right. And most times, men and women that just like taking care of people, they definitely want to take care of their mates. So what happens is, in this world where we're evolving, where realistically in the pandemic and even before the pandemic, income is tight, just like Candice said. But I always say, if you're going to get with someone and they have that traditional spirit, where say you're with the man and he wants to take care of you, that discussion, like Kela said, has to happen. Are you fully, ready for what that comes with? And then if a woman, because don't get it twisted, there are women that want to take care of their men, that man needs to have that conversation too. And so I just want to put that out there briefly, because sometimes we forget the power of choice. And there are a lot of people that that's their choice, that they want to take care. And I know for me, when I get married, I'm one of those type of people that I do enjoy taking care. You know what I'm saying? But I do want it to be balanced, and I want it to be an understanding. And I'm coming from a gay perspective, because I would be the submissive.
Right. So
that's the flip. So let me pull that all the way in. So I'll be in that female part of it, where I'm taking care of the house and I'm doing things, but I'm CEO and I'm doing these kinds of things. And I think that's really important for people to understand. It's really about also the character of a person. And I know some people, trifling. They just want to get spoiled.
I do want to say, Cabana, though, you haven't yet lived with a person,
Yes.
who you love, and still worked, and then
Right.
came home and took care of both of you, because it seems, and I'm only saying that because you don't have that experience yet.
Right.
Once you have that experience, you can still be a person who wants to care, but demands of work.
Hours left.
Yeah, like how many hours I got in this damn.
I know, I get it, because
and
I
I
get
gotta
it from
keep it.
taking care of other people. I deal with lazy people. I take care of a lot of people, and I do it on purpose. And I know that it's a pain in the, you know, so I realize, to me, that simulates what I'm getting myself into, and the discussion that I have to have. I just want to make sure, like, as we're talking, it's well-rounded, that people understand that there's still that choice button going on.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Common sense ain't common. Common
Right,
sense is not
right.
common.
So we have some comments. So I'm going to say some of the comments, and then after the comments, I'm going to allow ourselves and the folks that are following us to just watch a little bit of this clip that we're talking about.
My God.
So that y'all can get, and I'm going to do a whole lot of pausing and stopping so that we can discuss, because boy, this is a funny video. Yeah. All right, so Celia says, if I'm working, I'm not coming home to a second shift. If I'm not working, sure, I'm gonna come home and put an apron on. Rodney says, men can support a woman who wants all of those things. However, they still can want a woman who will do the things that their grandmother has done for their grandfather. Lance said,
they can want what they want.
Lance said, let's go.
Somebody else said, I don't want my grandparents' marriage. It really wasn't all that. Grandma turned a blind eye to a lot. Working together is the best way to make it work. Lance says, I never grew up with an idle relationship due to one parent being deceased since I was 2, and my father never dated or had a woman until today, and that was 28 years ago, and there's no figure to call mom. Albert says, in traditional relationships, it fails the women in the long run. If and when the male passes the way, the woman has nothing but money to pick up the pieces and continue. No knowledge of the way the world works. Okay, right. So
again,
I get what he's saying, but I can't be, just because you are staying at home and taking care of family and home does not mean that you don't have any other skills. And or have any other life skills.
Back in the day, they didn't though.
Back then they did not. I agree, because we did see a lot of our grandmothers struggle when grandpa died. You know,
it was illegal to read.
Right. I mean, back then was totally different.
Agreed. So what I will say is this: I am a career person. I do have a business. I do my thing. But as Cabana says, there is balance. So yes, I am the one. I do come home and I take care of my home. I do ensure that my husband and kids eat. I cook all the time, you know, all the time. So it is possible to have both, but in the context of what we are talking about is a high value, having the high value man who's coming in with 10 grand a month. I don't have to do this shit. I don't have to do this business. I don't have to go work when I'm dealing with the high value man. I don't have to do that. So then I guess that leaves me time to be appealing and attractive, have discernment and be disciplined and comforting. I ain't done shit all day.
Nothing.
But sit on the couch and be pretty and wait for you to come home.
Mm-hmm.
So I might just have the energy to do all of those things because you bring in 10 grand a month.
And that's what I wasn't hearing from him. You know, I need you
gotta listen to a lot of his videos to get his.
Yeah, I guess you gotta get to a lot.
Right. So look, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play the clip. We're gonna play the clip. So again, if you are just now joining us, what's up to everybody who's watching? This is Kevin Samuels, went viral on World Star, talking to this woman who is looking for a man who makes 6 figures and up. Hold on, let me share my screen.
And it says it's time to chop it up.
Okay.
Marcus Dupree.
I have to push.
Marcus Dupree got his eyes emoji going. He ready.
All right, I'm going to the right page. Boom. Nope. Can you move? There he is. Man.
Oh Lord.
Stop, Cabana. All right, here we go.
And ma'am, and that's my point. You ladies all feel like, listen, you ladies all feel like you're the exception to the rule. And then when someone like myself comes along and gives you a dose of reality, instead of just accepting it, it's like, yeah, but I'm special. You don't know any men on this level that are not your father, that aren't related to you. That means you don't know this. You don't know where to go get them. You don't know what they want. But you're still saying, pick me. They don't want mid-30-year-old baby mamas. I'm trying to be polite, man, but they don't want those.
Can I ask you a question?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Why is that so?
From my point of view, I feel like I get what you're saying. They do have better options, but also those better options are younger girls. Those younger girls don't necessarily 20-year-olds are not necessarily attracted to 45-year-olds.
Bullshit.
She do a lot of
And I
generalization.
can't beat them off with a stick. That's another one you lies. No, younger women are attracted to older men. What are you talking about?
They want to shoot daddy.
Yes, I can.
Can you see me?
Okay. So do you feel like a woman like me?
What would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? You cannot use 7.
This is part.
Would I rate myself?
Just your face.
My face when I wake up 5, but when I put myself together 6.
Why?
That part would bother me the most.
Problem.
5.
That's the issue.
I'm sorry.
Your dress size.
A 3.
Okay, so that makes you, if you give yourself a 5, that's average.
Yes.
So average-looking women tend not to get high-earning men.
Every day of the week, they do.
Average men.
Like,
So
Okay, I'm gonna pause it here. All right. So this is what was going on from the beginning. She called, she owns a business, and she said she was tired of dating down. Tired of dating men who made less money than her. She's a 6-figure earner. She was tired of dating men who make less than her. She said, when should I tell them that I own a business? Because when I do, they always want to, try to invest in my business or become a part of my business. And that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I want. And he says, okay, well then what do you want? And the first thing that came out of her mouth was, someone who makes like 6 figures or more, because I feel like they're more on my level. I'm tired of dating down.
And
questions, comments, concerns, because I got a whole lot of issues with that. Go ahead.
Question first. Let's go back to the top so I can just really verify. She said that she made how much?
She's 6 figures. She didn't say how much. She just said 6 figures.
Okay, so let me just say
And
this.
she's in North Carolina.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be very perfectly clear. We are some brutally, mentally damaged human beings in our community. The fact that you make 6 figures and we're missing, to me, I was like, because I kept going back and I kept rewinding that section, like, she makes 6 figures. She's asking for somebody for 6 figures. She feels that she's average, which is, I was hurt by that part, to tell you the honest, because what your self-worth inside of you is what you're going to exude anyway. Regardless of what people want to say to you, what you feel about yourself, you can cover yourself up. But there are people that we quote call not attractive, and they got confidence for days, and they winning these boys, okay? They winning these men, they winning these players. And to me, he addressed her beauty. He said, I'm just talking about your face. Like you got to catch the smallest thing, because that to me was the biggest damage thing. Because if she made 20,000 a year or 5,000 or $40 at Hardee's, you know what I'm saying? It'll be different. But she's saying she makes 6 figures, so she has the right to want to find someone that's, you know, making enough money where she doesn't feel like they're gonna piggy bank in her bank.
Mm-hmm.
So I really had a problem with how he kind of took the subject matter and the line of conversation for her and then turned it into, whether he was frustrated or not, your beauty, like just your face.
Yeah.
And then he took what she said and then just like, well, you know, high fashion people, and you in the dark, sir, don't want average women. You know, they don't deal with average women. That's a complete and utter total lie. We see high whatever men, we want to call it like Trump. I mean, I don't like Trump, but his wife is not ugly.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't my taste, but I'm saying she definitely not ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then other people, we see another person and they're definitely not Halle Berry or whomever you think is cute.
Right.
So I felt like in that moment, I had to stop the tape and really rewind, because I felt like he seemed very frustrated.
Yeah.
And then instead of ending the conversation with his truth and whatever facts that he had, because there were some facts, of course, I think it just veered off, and it just seemed like it just showed more what he believes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he thinks that if you're not a size maybe 7'6", 6'5", you got nice ample titties, you giving a little bit of hoop, and hopefully it should be real kind of hair. Your nails are done, your toes are done, no calluses, no corns, you know, all that kind of stuff. And you making your money, which means you probably getting surgery, because those are the surgery girls sometimes, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can't walk around being a quote Kim Kardashian. And I don't even think she's cute. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just think that people's standard of beauty gets in the way of their truth. And I you know, this is my last part. Truth and reality are very different, but they're so similar that they blur lines and they cause damage. The reality is your perception of what you believe is true for you, but the truth is what you run into every day. The wall, the uncomfortability, and I think she already knows what she looks like. And I feel like, not knowing her, she built her business, her 6 figures, and got whatever she, you know, do her best, you know, to get herself together in hopes that what she feels about this will get her that. So the very thing that she's looking for is almost what she did. And now she's finding out, I'm still not enough. Because that's kind of where that led me, is like, dang, you did all of that and you got a business.
Right.
And you average. No.
It's confidence. Yeah, you are 100.
So I'm sorry for being long-winded, but that,
No, it's okay.
that was part that got me the
I
most.
brought it back around to what I was looking at. I'm like, is anybody paying attention to? She really just got a taste of her own damn medicine, because she's talking about, oh, I'm tired of dating down, but now these Negroes don't want to date down to your ass. So what the fuck?
And so, no, I'm gonna let y'all talk before I say what I gotta say, because
I mean, but that's what it boiled down to me. It's like, so now you mad because these 6-figure or more men don't want you, and y'all on an even playing field in your mind. You got 6 figures, they got 6 figures, and they don't want your ass, and you trying to figure out how to get them. You can't get them because you just said yourself you're a butterface motherfucker. Like what?
Like, how do you call yourself that? How do you say that you're a 5? It just makes me feel
Where
like
your confidence at?
Yeah,
She don't have
where her bullying was.
That's
no,
right.
her confidence.
She got no damn confidence.
her confidence is in her paycheck.
Her confidence in her checkbook, because she's
There you go.
because she's a 6-figure woman. She feels that I should be able to get whoever I want to because I make 6 figures too.
You better start letting these Negroes invest in your business.
But I don't even think it's like that, y'all. I don't, you know, sometimes we make people seem
That's
like,
exactly what she said.
no, it's not. It's the way you say it and how you say it. She said what she wanted, but sometimes we take the girl that is trying to get the best for her life, or the guy that's trying to get the best for life, and make it seem like they're trying to downplay. We all know that we don't want nobody in our life that cannot either match or enhance or make us better. Point blank, period, no end of the discussion. You don't want that. Now, girls will be like, yeah, I want the prison dude.
Say that sentence one more time.
Okay.
You don't want anybody that what?
You don't want no one that will not enhance you. You don't want no one that will bring something to you to make you better. You don't want anybody that literally is going to bring you down. And I'm not talking about the young people or the old people that get into female and men, prison, you know, dating, doing what they're going to do. And it is what it is. But I'm saying the majority of the world really wants someone that enhances them or makes them better. And I feel like if you work hard for something, you're going to do that. But in this discussion, this is why I think mental health is so important. And this is the other part that I think is so important, because in our community, whatever she went through is what got her there. In our community, whatever she went through is what got her there. Because we know, especially a Black person, one Black woman, but a brown skinned girl that ain't got no color eyes or looking like Kenya Moore, call it like it is. Kenya Moore is on that Real Housewives of Atlanta because of what she looks like, not because of what she brings, what she looks like. And she got her position off of what she looks like, because she was the, you know, Miss, you know, the pageant woman, you know what I'm saying? So I think that my point is, like, clearly, even though we're talking about money, it is much deeper than money. And, you know, Greg, you said it right. Like, she got a taste of her own medicine, which will give her more of a, you know, an understanding, like, yo, I need to check myself. Maybe I need to review some things, but I still feel like it's not her end. I don't think it's coming from a malice position. I think I've heard a lot of women that are doing great for themselves, and dudes that they're attracting, the ones that they invite in they're not there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I will say this. I understand what you are saying. I understand what you're saying.
Oh, I like that, Dwayne.
What I don't like about this situation is that you've had to see this man's show before. So you knew what you were getting yourself into to begin with, because prior to, I know that y'all don't have time to watch the whole 2-hour show that he did, but I will say,
please watch it.
This was on a particular night where it was disagreement day. That's the running consistent theme of that particular show day. Let's say every Thursday is disagreement night. You call in on disagreement night and want to ask me a question about some off-topic shit that we're not even talking about. All right. So I laughed because I said, let somebody come on this show and we supposed to be talking about going to church, and you come and start talking about porn. I'm gonna let you have it. Oh, I'm gonna tie it into church, but I'm gonna let you have it to let you know you can't come do what you want to do on my platform. This isn't the place for it. And so I felt his frustration with this woman, because he said it from the beginning. Yeah. You just gonna call in on the wrong night. And I tell you politely, this isn't the night for disagreement. This is disagreement day. You calling in on the wrong show. And she pretty much dismissed the fact he said that. Well, I just wanted to ask you a question, because I was just trying to get on the show and ask you something live. You have set yourself up for the firing squad. So anything else I say to you after that, I'm coming for you live on my show, because not only did I try to politely correct you of what you were doing wrong, you blew me off and continued. So any other shots I fire at you, you welcomed.
But he entertained it too.
Wait, he did in the show. Yes, he did.
He wants his ratings too, because he could have just said click.
No, he could have, but you know what he said? So, and again, some of the shit for him to me is funny. It's funny to me. He said, that's all right. We're going to go ahead with this call, because I'm going to use this as a teaching moment. That's exactly what he said. And later on in the thing, he said, the thing with some women, I think he said Black women, I think that's what he said, but I'm going,
y'all
the thing with y'all, wrong with y'all is you guys want what you want when you want it without disregard to anyone else. And that is what you are doing. This particular chick, she disregarded what he tried to say and kept it moving. So to me, that was the first misstep, because just as he could have hung up, she could have hung the hell up too.
But that's the thing about it.
Hold on. And she didn't. So that's the first X.
Yeah.
You kept pushing after you already knew you were in the wrong. Sometimes when you know in the wrong, sit back and just take that L and call them another day. So you set yourself up for this firing squad. That's the first thing for me. The second thing for me is when he asked you what you wanted, her response to me was not articulated well.
No.
If the first thing that comes out of your mouth is somebody's salary, and that is what you're looking for, honey, you yourself have closed the hole on what type of men or women or whatever you're looking for. You've closed the hole. You want somebody that's 6 figures and up, that's cool, but you just threw out a whole lot of good men that make 95,000, 85,000, 75,000. And you just, you see what I'm saying? You just shrunk your pool a lot. And so when I understand that, and that's where I'm pulling from your point of people want to find people who can match and build with, I agree. But if I was still looking for some 6-figure dude, I'd probably still be single my goddamn self.
And I didn't say match.
No.
Enhance.
Right, enhance. So
there's a difference.
But enhancement is not his paycheck.
Exactly, but that's
not his paycheck.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Hold on. Because part of the enhancement could have been the $50,000 man she was on a date with who said they wanted to help her invest in her business. But she didn't want that. She didn't want that. I don't want somebody to help me with my business. Where in turn later in the same video, when he asked her, if a high value man came to you to talk to you and was interested, what do you have to offer to him? Well, I can help him with his business and I know how to plant. What the hell is that?
But that was the best part of the show to me. Is that
talking about.
What is that? What is that? So then in turn, and I think it goes back to the mental health part, you don't even know your own value to be able to tell a 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure dude what you have to offer him in his life. I agree on a certain scale with Kela about, yeah, there's a whole lot of average chicks running around with 6-figure dude or high value men. Yes, but what percentage of them, one, are married to that average woman, two, that they didn't have when they weren't the high value man.
Right.
And that's why I feel that even though some of the stuff this dude said is harsh, he is not inaccurate with the way some of the general population thinks. And I'm not saying that population is right. I'm saying that what he is saying that is happening in the general population is right. Sorry.
No, he knows.
That's what happened.
Sounds like a Megan Thee Stallion supporter.
He must be talking about the girl in the video, not me.
That's funny.
Look, and Fawcett said exactly. She needs a pitch. If you trying to step and fetch for the high value man, where's your sales pitch?
And that's another thing. She wasn't prepared.
She told you she is a 5. She told you that lets you know right there for starters where her self-esteem is. It's in the toilet. Because if you think you are a 5 or a 6 with makeup on, you already don't think that you are the bee's knees. Baby, when I wake up, yes, I woke up like this. If I put my face on, yes, I woke up like it don't matter where I'm at or what I'm wearing. Baby, I'm fine in some J's with some sweatpants on and my hair. And I'm fine with my Louis Vuittons on and my hair blowing in the wind. It don't matter. But if she don't feel that way about herself, it's hard for anybody else to take you
to feel that way. Exactly.
Don't nobody want to feel like you are the bee's knees to them if you don't even feel that about yourself.
And I think that's the greatest point. I think that was the greatest point of the whole situation, seeing her not ready to address something that she wanted. I'm not saying what he said was not correct. I do believe he's still a person that believes women to be a certain way. I still believe that he's sexist. I still believe that he has a certain standard. But at the end of the day, I think, what y'all reading? What y'all reading?
Lance said, personality.
Well, first, and this is the thing. And for me, I guess this is how I think. I always think a little bit deeper, because I'm saying if someone came on our show, and let's be real and be honest, because we have 5 great personalities that balance each other out. Right. There is no way that I'm going to let anyone on this show come out of character with someone that is bringing bad character to our show. We're definitely going to hit the mute button and you're going to be done. And for me, this was more of, yeah, you can have a teachable lesson in your first 15 minutes with this woman, but then it comes to a point where you're just discrediting and you're doing what most people do to each other in our community. I always have just a deeper, mindset.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Because I feel like we have choices on how we educate and help, and then how we prostitute and destroy.
Okay. Can I ask one question though? Can I ask one question? Because I feel that, yes, all 5 of us on this show, and let's be real raw.
I'll be real raw.
Okay. We got 5 crazy ass personalities on this show from 5 different backgrounds, 5 totally different people.
Gang.
We're not gonna sit up here and act like we haven't seen the unevenly, physically unbalanced couple and try to figure out how the fuck that happened. We're not act like that. We're not gonna act like you haven't seen fine ass dude with Willie Lump, and you like, how did that happen? It's not your business, but you're wondering, how did that occur? And I'm not going, and I'm saying,
Willie Lump.
Us as humans try to figure that out.
We all do that. And that makes the point that I'm saying now. We all do that.
So we've all done it. So I just want to make sure we're not speaking from a place where we're acting like we've never done this before.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Right. So
you know what
I'm saying is that's where Kevin Samuels, I feel, is really not as bad as we're trying, not we. He's really not as bad as people are trying to make him.
I'm not saying he's bad, but I think
we're doing shit we do all the time.
You have to have a responsibility. And I don't care what nobody says. That's for me personally. I carry my brand to my whole grave. And at the end of the day, especially in this community, you have a responsibility. Your personal thoughts and your personal sex life and your personal opinions are your personal opinions. But when you start to get on here, even when I'm talking now, my mind is always be conscious, be cognizant, be aware, be smart about what you opening in your mouth and what you're saying. Even when I'm passionate like this and emotional, I'm still like, Abana, catch yourself, check yourself. And so for me, I just feel like, bruh, there's a way to do something. And when it comes to Blaq and Blaq on TV at any time, at any point during this pandemic, I watched the Red Table Talk, which is another hot topic, but I had to give it to, the whole show, because I felt like that's how it was when they dealt with a subject. And Gam was like, I'm not for it. I'm not with it. I'm not having it. But people was like, well, we still need to, work this thing out. We need to figure out. But it was conscious and it was correct. And there was resolve and there was resolution. I felt like with this show, we entertain. You look like the butt of a face joke. He looking like the jack of an ass. It's like you're giving us all of this, but then at the end, it's like, dang, like I just learned that girls play themselves, kind of, like from this show. I didn't learn like anything, but you just, basically played yourself. But my personal opinion doesn't matter because I have a little bit more of a heart, but you played yourself because you weren't ready to answer an educated jackass.
True. Keela, I know you got a whole lot. We got so many comments I got to talk about, but Keela, come on.
Talk about the comments.
Okay. All right. So I have Albert Brunson says, as a $50 a half high dollar man himself. I don't look for the finest out there. It's not all about the looks. However, she feels if she has the money, the man needs the money. Money doesn't buy love. Fawcett says, hey, what's up, Fawcett? Fawcett says it's all about reflection. Lance says, due to my intelligence, my opinion is only really worth 2 cents. He said, Marcus Dupree asked me how I was going to tie porn into church. Baby, watch me work. You don't know me.
Don't do that.
No, I know. Marcus, no, I'm messing with him. Patricia Alston says, the way he spoke to her was concerning to me because he is the type that no matter how much money she makes, or if she was drop dead ass gorgeous, she will never be in his space. He doesn't respect women just by his comments. Do you guys feel that he doesn't respect women as a whole or didn't respect her?
That's the vibe I was getting. I listened to the first part before he got on the phone, and it's really imbalanced. And he kept saying like y'all women and making generalizations and what they should be doing. And I was not feeling it. It was so one-sided instead of coming from a place where it's like, okay, this happens to be where we are in history with technology. Dating is different. Everybody's just trying to really learn this, like this new way of dating.
Right.
Because the traditional ways and the things that we have to do for our own lives, they don't match up anymore. You know what I mean? So you can't expect the traditional way of a woman to be in a traditional way in today's like society, I think.
Okay.
Even when he gave his definition from a
go ahead, Greg.
man to a high value woman, it just sounded real sexist to me. So
yeah, it's just creepy.
True. In his response to the difference between the high value man versus a high value woman, he had 2 totally different responses. However, in your response to saying, does he how does he feel? You don't think he really respects women? I'd have to listen to some of his other shows in order to gain an accurate depiction of that. Because just based off of this, it just seemed like he was irritated with the fact that she kept questioning the responses that he was giving her. And I've said this before and I say it again, if you ask me a question you don't really want to answer to, expect an answer you didn't want to hear.
Right.
So that's exactly what she received. She probably wanted a pacified answer, to pat her on the back and make it, smooth it over, make her feel good. Like, oh, darling, you're still pretty. Don't let no man make you feel worse than what you think you feel. Just try to all nice and pretty and paint her the perfect Disney fairy tale. Now, fuck that. Disney is who screwed up all of our thoughts and processes right now anyway.
Yeah.
You got princess out here. Everybody's supposed to get a prince, and you're going to have the white picket fence, and we're all going to have our happily ever after. Look, let's be real here. It's fucking 2020.
Listen.
Right. And look,
it's hard to have.
Fawcett said she wanted the Steve Harvey response.
Right.
And here's the thing, again, they all, we have all these whole, people, when people show you who they are, believe them, blah, blah, blah. This man, again, I've only watched like 10 or so of his videos. Yeah. This man is consistent across the board. This is the way that he is. Yeah. And people know when you call in, he says, when you call in to ask me questions, and he's talking to the ladies, because I think that it's an intentional statement. When you call into me, I'm going to give you the answer that I'm going to give you as the man that I am. I am not going to give you one of your pacified girlfriend's answers. I'm not going to do that. And I laughed at it because he said, what can your single girlfriend tell you about men? What can she tell you? You're calling me to find out how to get these men that I consult. I'm telling you what they want. It's just you don't like what I'm saying because you don't fit. And again, I didn't say I agree, but I mean, just think about it. just think about what he's saying. Men are never going to think like women, and nor should we expect them to. So if a man comes and tells you what I want, any man, I'm not saying all men, I'm just saying, let's say this one dude, not Kevin, because y'all gonna say no because it's Kevin. Let's say Leroy says,
come on, Leroy.
Leroy says, I want a woman, what I'm looking for is a woman who is no taller than 5'11". I don't want her to weigh over 150 pounds. I prefer she have natural hair, and I prefer to have sex 3 to 4 times a week on demand.
On demand.
Hold on. All the women who can't fit that are gonna be pissed. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna be in the comments.
How dare you? How dare you? Blah blah. But guess what? Keisha, who's 5'9", who has sex 3 to 4 times a week already, is checking for Leroy. So to Keisha, Leroy's not wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? So we sit up here and say that this dude got issues. This dude, he's telling you, I feel his truth. This is what he consults. People pay buku money to come to consult with this man, and he does conferences in major cities, and men pay to come get this advice. Is it all right? I can't tell you if it is or not. But what I do respect is that some of the things that have come out of his mouth, I have heard come out of my own father's mouth. Not the disrespectful shit. You know what I'm saying? But the type of things that men want. How to not be played by some of these dudes.
It's a different than how
Aren't these just a single?
Don't know.
Say it again.
I tried to see if he was married, girl. I can't find it. He used to be. He's divorced. So that might tell you something.
But this is the thing. It's not, no one's stopping the bag. And it's just like, I would never go on Wendy Williams' show because I don't agree with her. I used to be a big fan, met her in person, and she is just how she is on the show. She's very consistent. And from that point on, I would say I would never, if ever I got an opportunity, it was beautiful to sing for her, but you see people's character. And for me to know that, this man doing conference and stuff like that, it's not your truth that I'm worried about. Mm-hmm. It is how you are sharing your truth. Your energy, it sounds condescending. So the people that are receptive, just like Miss Gullible that came on TV, can be Mr. Gullible at his conference, and they can give the same kind of energy back to these women, and they may not have the distinct, dialect and conversation and that suave, debonair, smooth little bull that he got going on that would go through that, because it's still, you got to deal with the person, you got to deal with what's going on. And so I think, when you're prescribing a prescription to someone, you need to prescribe a prescription to someone and give the understanding that they have to give it their way. Because most people do not, and I say do not, do it their way. They mimic the way that it was given.
Right.
It's like the music industry. You come out with a girl named Her, acronym, and she's covering her face or whatever the case may be. She has a sound, and next thing you know, people take her way and make it their way.
Right.
So that my thing is, like, I have more of a problem with how he handled it. I just think, like, yo, if you so suave and you so this and you so that, you could, like I said, there could have been so many opportunities to let go. And I'm gonna tell you what my dad said, because my dad, man, he a G. Because I'm opposite. I'm a mama's boy, but my dad, if I was my dad's son, I would not be gay. Number one. Okay, on that one, because my dad is definitely for the straight. And no, it's real talk. Like, legitimately, I am my mother's child. But get this, the one thing that he said, and I thought it was very interesting, is that when a person is really who they are, less is always more. When it comes to a man, and a man is in a discussion with a woman, if you want to know if a man is truly stable in who he is as a man, he will not say many words. He doesn't mix his words. There is not too much of a discussion or debate when it comes to a man, because they have a finality in their head. It is when a man gets with the woman and the intelligence of that woman or the aggressiveness nature of that woman starts to debate with him, he has to find a way to have the last word. And I feel like that is the reason why that conversation, when it's long, is because at one point, didn't you hear me? Didn't you hear me? Who you talking to? Like, but she's not that girl. Because I would have been like, yo, who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I felt more of a person battling to make sure that what he has built stays there. You know what I mean?
When he said, did you hear me? That's not what I felt. That's
because I felt like after a certain amount of time, he was like, yo, look at his expression. When he said, did you hear me? He was like, I don't want you to say nothing else. But
no, I did not. That's not what I got. That's not
the attitude. Go back to the video.
That's what I got. That's not what I got.
What you got?
I got, are you going to acknowledge what I just said? You are skating past what I just said and not even absorbing it because she called for advice. So if I'm trying to give you advice and I'm giving you advice that may, because see, some people say, and I've had it as a supervisor, and look, probably as a friend. People will sometimes say, Dizzy, you aggressive. Dizzy, you mean. Dizzy's rude. Dizzy's disrespectful. Sometimes I am, but sometimes you will call me rude and disrespectful because I'm saying things you don't like to hear. It's not that I said something rude. It's just you don't like what I'm saying. And so your only comeback is you think I'm rude and disrespectful.
Or you're rude because you gave it straight.
I gave it to you a particular way and agreed. I know I'm not everybody's tequila. I know that. Some people need chasers after fucking with me. I get it.
Well,
So
hold on.
I even have friends that I know that be going through shit. I know they are. And I will only check on them through text because I know they're not ready to talk to me because I'm not going to give them their girlfriend pat on the back, fairy godmother BS. I'm not going to give you that. I'm going to say, no, you are wrong. No, you probably shouldn't have said that. I probably wouldn't have responded that way. And then if I'm giving you advice and you're like, but, did you hear me? You're not digesting anything I'm telling you. And then guess what's going to happen? You're going to come back here and try to have the same conversation with me 7 days from now and then wonder why I'm wilding out. Because you're not listening.
But I agree.
But you don't have to agree, but acknowledge.
Yeah.
They listen to respond. They're not listening to absorb what you're saying. So in listening to respond, it's because they don't like the response. They don't like the information that you're giving them and the way that you're giving it to them. I gave it to you straight. Whether you accept it or not, whether you need a chaser or not, that's on you. But you came to me asking for advice. You came to me asking for a response or asking for information regarding this particular subject. And I gave it to you straight, no chaser. So how you take it is on you. If you need a lemonade or you need a lemon and some salt behind it, by all means, go to the store and handle that shit. But Dizzy gave it to you straight. I gave it to you straight. I gave you exactly what you needed.
But we know that this person
wanted it that way.
We know
you can't always get what you want, how you want it.
Right. I'm just gonna say Albert Prince Brunson is gonna stop messing with me. He said it was kind of
a lot of things.
That might have been Dizzy talking to that woman. But no, I would say this. There are not very many. I do feel that everyone should have a level of confidence. I do agree like that. I do. I'm unlike Candice. I don't think I wake up out the bed as a 10. I don't. I just don't. I got confidence, but I don't walk around here all day, every day like a 10. I don't. And I feel that. So later on, I have a question for all y'all. Later on in the video, after she said she was a 5, 6 when she put her face on. This is Kela question.
It's so crazy.
All right. And then he said, and she, he says, well, then you just rated yourself average. So you are average at best. Typically, high value men don't go for average looking women, which you rated yourself. I didn't rate you that. You rated you that.
Right.
And then he said, well, how do you look when you wake up in the morning?
Wow.
And without all the other stuff, like weave, wig, lashes, all of that. How do you look? And she said, well, I'm still a 5. And he said, no, you're not. No, you're not. Because if you felt that way, you wouldn't put all that other stuff on.
That's that.
I need you to respond, because I had a funny ha-ha moment at that point, because I was like, boo-boo, if you're looking for a high value man, I really think she need to visit hbmahogany.com to get a dope headset.
I mean, yes,
Yes.
is true.
First of all, your hair is slaying today. Your hair is
right. I plugged. Oh, thank you. But go ahead, Kela. Please tell me, what did you think when he said that?
I mean, I thought it was okay. It was real, but her confidence is just what kills me, because that is all I can see shining through. You put yourself together according to how you feel about yourself already, or maybe your skill level in certain things like doing your makeup, doing your hair. She's only 3 years into the 6-figure situation, so maybe she does not know, all the pieces to put together, how to shop in these different stores that she's now shopping in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think her confidence just killed me. The whole like that was her problem, and he never addressed that, I feel like.
Okay.
And so that's the part that was missing. While you're sitting here just trying to put her down because you're frustrated because she called in on the wrong day, you are missing the opportunity to say exactly what it is. It's like, you don't feel that way about you. So, and that is it. No matter what she wants, until she knows who she is and can present herself that way, then, I'm not about to sit here and try to grow with you. You are just now in this space.
Right.
So I think it's an opportunity to say that.
So Marcus said you may be a 5 to someone or a 10 to someone else. Denise agreed with that. Denise said, yeah, Dizzy is real. That's why I tell you my business and get real advice. Girl, I love you. You know I try. Amelia says, I wake up as a 10. It's just my opinion, but my opinion is all that matters. You go, Amelia. I love you.
Right.
So Lance said, yes, Dizzy. He said, but a lot of people bring a lot of ignorance, like this lady in the video.
Right.
So, and I can see that too. I can see that point. So here's a question to all of you, on the spot question. If someone came to ask you what you had to offer a man and or woman, what is your answer? Because I was concerned about the answers that she gave when asked, you're looking for this type of man, what do you have to offer?
What did she say as her response?
Let me find it on the video, but y'all mull it over. I'm gonna find it and then I'm gonna play it.
Now hold on. We talking about a 6-figure woman? I'm supposed to be talking about that.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna find it. I'm sorry. But y'all think about it. And y'all who are listening, I need to hear y'all as well. Lance is so stupid. He said, from a scale from 1 to 10, I'm kind of retarded. Shut up, Lance.
I think the truth is always good. And I think that's another thing too. Like, you should never, we do it anyway though, because that's what we do. I don't ever think people should take your personal issue to a stranger. That's why I used to look at those old shows like Jerry Springer and Beyond, even though it's fake TV and all, and some things are real, whatever. It's like, if I come to like Dizzy, it's because I know regardless of what she's going to say or how she's going to say it, it's going to be from love. It's going to be from a good place. You got it, Jim. When you do your research with these people on these shows, you need to watch the show. Just like she said, I watched a couple of shows. He's still the same person. And that difference that he has for women, to me, is obvious. It just is there. So as a woman, I wouldn't go into a place where necessarily, unless you're ready for that bulldog truth, then don't go up there. You know what I'm saying? You don't really go to places to get those kinds of answers that really, honestly, there is no, sometimes I feel like, true answer. you know, when it comes to standards of beauty and standards of this, because just like we talk about politics, everything is created. You know, we write it out, but if you go to Africa, they don't want no skinny chick. You know what I'm saying? You know, no, but that like real talk, they just don't. You know, they don't find that attractive. So sometimes we roll with the things that are given to us and we make them the standard of our language and how we believe things are going to be. And then when they're challenged, sometimes we go, oh, the only thing that I say too, along with the piece that Kela said about confidence, is the value of being educated, the value of mastering yourself and finding out who you are before you go on screen. Yeah. You can make up any mistakes in front of the mirror and even in front of your friends. But when you go on TV, try to really find out who you are. Even if, you know, my favorite person in the whole wide world, as far as celebrities, and I think it's sexy, and may he rest in peace, is Tupac. Because Tupac, super intelligent, but he was himself, period. Like he just gave you what he gonna give you unapologetically. And I think confidence is what people find the most attractive. I don't think sexiness is something that you see. Sexiness is something that you feel. I think the sexiness that we see is something that we're turned on. If you like breasts, if you like booty, if you like toes, if you like skin, whatever. But when people find somebody, I thought Janet Jackson was the most sexiest when she was clothed and only showing a little bit of belly button. You know what I'm saying? It is an appeal. It's something that people have. And I felt like if that girl felt like she was sexy, then that energy would come off. I mean, think about Eartha Kitt, Grace Jones. These are not traditional beauty, but these baby girls.
Yeah.
And that's my whole point. Yeah.
They eat. So I don't know. But for me, my answer, because I have not, unfortunately, Kabana has not found somebody yet. But if somebody were to ask me what I had to offer, my honest answer is this, because I'm a very personal person. Bring that person to me and let me show them what I offer them. Let's go on this journey. Let's have a date. Let's have a conversation. My resume is not written when it comes to dating. My resume is discussion and conversation. And then you find out what I am for who I am. And if you can get into the gig, then you can have a part of this gig, period. That's me, because I haven't experienced it yet. So I feel like giving some resume from something I've never done, I've never been in, it's kind of like I'm pretending. Whereas if I went through a relationship and had one, I'll be like, well, no, okay, well, this is what I did in it. So this was the pluses and this was the negatives, and I'm good at this. I can't cook, but I got this money, you know, whatever. But
you know what's funny? I love that you just went off on that little funny haha tangent, because I feel, and I have seen on social media, women who are as single as hell, probably never been in a relationship, telling all these men lies on what they are able to do, what they will and will not do in a relationship. You haven't been cuffed for real yet. You haven't met the right person that might be able to get you to do some of those things. And so he was like, I don't know how to cook. I ain't gonna cook. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do, you know, it's funny because I know Kaban is not like that, but it's crazy because, example, this young lady, I can't find the place in the clip and I'm tired of looking for it, but I know what she said. He asked her, what do you have to offer? You come to the table, let's say you get this high value man in front of you and he asks you, what do you have to offer? And she was like, well, I mean, you know, I have my own career. He was like, high value men don't care about your career, your money. Next. And she said, well, I mean, I can help him with his business. He said, hold on. These high value men, they making a hell of a lot of money. They probably don't need help with your business. Give me the next, with their business.
Wait,
hold on, wait.
Them to help her with her business. So
Thank
that's all I got to offer is to help him with his.
Right. And then she said, I mean, you know, and I have a garden and, you know, I grow my own vegetables. He said, ma'am, the only thing that you have told me at this point is that you are 35, single baby mama with a 13-year-old that owns her own business that can plant. That's all you told me. And I was like, as they said before, Cabana's marital status matters too.
Lance, we gonna have you on this show because you have me rolling, and it does. Hashtag.
Right. And so I'm like, what about those women, us women, that aren't able to articulate what they bring to the table? And even men, because men have that issue too. But how do you articulate that? Because to me, the way she articulated that was a mess. And that was a whole mess. And so it's like, how do you articulate that to someone, not just high value men, just in general? How do you articulate that? How do you articulate that, Greg?
I'm very bad at shit.
Oh, I was still trying to answer the question.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I got hard dick and bubblegum is what I'm bringing to the table.
What's the bubble gum?
What did you say?
Because he said he got a hard poop and some bubble gum. What is the bubble gum? I get the other part, but what's the bubble gum? I'm confused because I don't know.
You give us some flavor.
Oh.
I love Greg.
But how to articulate that?
Yeah.
No. Oh my God. No. Don't articulate it.
He said no. Lance said he is all out of bubblegum.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Lance, please.
I mean, she got 6 figures. What else she need from me?
Look, and then your wife talking about, I'm dead. I can't.
And she got 6 figures.
I'm just saying.
Okay. What would your answer be, Candice, if a man asked you, what do you have to offer? Like, why?
I don't know, because shit, I haven't been on like dates like that for real in so long. I don't know. I've been married almost 13 years. I don't know.
How do you even answer that to somebody? I mean, why are you asking me this in the first place?
Come on.
Like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you.
If you answer that question, wouldn't that like alleviate? What is it? You know how some people, there's like these memes on social media that's like, look, can these potential boyfriends come with a resume so I can just read over what kind of person you are, so I don't have to even waste my time on this relationship. Let me just read about it and figure out whether or not I want to hang with this or not. Because there's been times where, back when I was dating, where I thought, okay, he's cute, he's this, all right, he seemed like he's sweet, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe like date 3, I'm like, you like what? I wait 3 dates or whatever, dealing with you, where if you have something to answer, I don't know. I mean,
Mark said,
probably looked at him crazy.
Peanut
butter. Oh no, we can't do that.
Like, I'm 5'11", you know what I'm saying? A certain weight. I like to cook type shit. I switch my hair up every 5 days. You know what I'm
the
saying?
twerk queen. You a baddie.
And they think mayonnaise is spicy.
Those things are supposed to come when you're dating a person. We are building this relationship together.
Come
this
on.
is yours. You know what I'm saying? This is not only your relationship, and I am not here just for you. And so what do we bring to this relationship? We won't know that until we get to know each other. Like, I'm not about to list, because how I feel today may not be, about one particular thing that's going on in my life today, may not be 10 years from now. And so now you're basing, are we not supposed to grow and, continue to evolve like that? That's just a part of life. So you asking me to list a resume like I'm about to fucking get a job. Does it come with a paycheck?
Come on, twin.
My girl Denise said, I got a resume and it's the bomb. Anybody single in here? Marcus said his resume changes depending on the job. I love it. And he got fruit roll-ups, apparently.
Lord.
Bubblegum.
Not the roll-ups, Marcus.
Those get protections.
Not the fruit.
I know what that fruit roll-up is about.
What's that fruit roll-up about?
What did Greg say he had?
Yeah. Oh.
Big bubble gum.
Well, he got fruit roll-ups.
So he got roll-ups. He ain't got bubble gum.
All right. So my next question, and then we'll roll this out. At the end of where do we go from this point?
Mm-hmm.
Where do we go from this point?
I'm about to sing Jeffrey Pops.
Because what we have recognized is, and correct me if I'm wrong, we have a lot of women out there who feel this.
Wait. Denise says, is Marcus single? I like fruit.
I like fruit. Yeah.
Come on, do we have an online?
Yo, sis, is
Do we have an online flirting?
Here we go. Marcus.
I'm here for this.
Marcus?
Woo! Yes, I am. We got some, look.
Wait a minute, Denise.
Going on online. I like fruit.
Marcus, you might be doing resume and fruit roll-up training.
Y'all gotta let us know how that goes because it happened on our show.
And so we need to be invited to anything that results out of this.
Yes.
Yes.
But you know what? I was thinking about what Marcus said. That where did he put it? My resume reflects differently depending on the job. That's true because even when you look at different relationships, you should be the same in every relationship that you're in because you're with different people and each person brings something different to the table.
Right.
It's not going to always be 50-50. Sometimes it's going to be 60-40, sometimes 90-10 on either side. So you have to change with the flow and things change from one day to the next. So yeah, your resume going to change. Be like, okay, you might get with someone who is a chef. And although you like to cook, maybe you're going to let them take the reins on that because they're a chef. Or maybe because they are a chef, they're like, you know what? When I come home, because I've been cooking all day, babe, I'm gonna cook for you.
Right.
And then, you know, the trade-off where they normally cook in all their relationships, whereas there was someone else be like, I like to cook too, baby, let me cook for you. You sit back, go get you a beer and have a seat, or go get you a glass of wine and have a seat on the couch. I got you. Right. You know, things are changing and it may be different from one relationship to the next. You may have someone who has kids. So, you know, now where y'all used to be looking at Best Man Holiday, now you over here looking at anime and Pokemon shit. You never know. So
you never know.
You never know what's gonna happen from one day to the next. Right. But you have to be flexible when you are in the dating phase because you're with someone who
what is wrong with
gonna change one day to the next. You don't know. You might like fruit roll-ups. Maybe you like
somebody about to have a roll up soon on this online conversation.
Yes, they are. Yeah, look.
Like grapefruit. I don't know. Just cut a piece out of it.
I like grapefruit.
I don't like grapefruit.
So I have a question. All right. So Kela and I kind of got into this discussion before we went live because I don't want to leave this conversation until we discuss this piece. So on some of his other videos, he says, or he actually kind of said it on this one as well. And I don't want to just talk just high value. I just want to talk men, women in general. He happened to, God dang it.
I know gushers. Now we're in gushers.
I love you, Fawcett.
I like gushers.
He said that certain things, shut up, Lance. What is wrong with see? And
what? Gushers work from the middle.
I know, and Lance said batteries are resourceful, and Lance said until they die mid-climax.
Oh my gosh.
So much going on this conversation.
Yes, I love this. I love this right here. Okay, so question.
Yes.
He mentioned that certain physical choices and life choices can limit who you have access to date. So he's talking high value. I personally feel that this applies not just to high value. So, and since we ain't high value, I don't think if we are, we in the wrong profession.
Not according to his.
Not on his high value. All right. He said that like women who have children from previous marriages, or women that don't sit in a particular height weight category, if they're overweight, that it reduces the pool of men that will choose you. Is that true? Do you feel that's true, or do you feel that's false?
No, it is not. Everybody's pool is what everybody's pool is. Like, I don't know why he keeps saying shrinking, because who is for you is going to be for you. And like, I have my choice. You can only be with one person. If the ultimate goal is to be married, you can ultimately only date one person. I really only need one person for it to work out with.
Right.
For, you know what I'm saying? So what is he talking about? My pool of people. Do you know how many people are on this damn planet?
Right.
Right. True.
Go ahead, kid. Go ahead.
But so you were saying that the pool is shrinking, that he was saying that your pool shrinks if you are, over a certain weight or a certain age, or if you have kids or whatnot. Okay, so this pool, people always say, oh, there's so many fish in the there's more fish in the sea or whatever. You know how big the sea is? You got to find that one fish that's willing to link up with you. So trying to find that one person is the process that we're talking about right now, which is what so many people are finding a hard time to go through because the ocean is so goddamn big. How long did it take Nemo to find his parents? It's a lot out there. And depending on the area that you are in, like for this particular instance, this lady was in North Carolina. I don't know of the type of not necessarily infrastructure, but the financial stability of a lot of people in North Carolina. But I don't think it's what's going on in Atlanta or for Miami or for LA or for Vegas. So as you look at those areas, okay, for starters, your 6-figure men that you're looking for, that is going to shrink because of the area that you're in, for starters. Mm-hmm. And then when you're looking at, let's look at your makeup of yourself, of your resume. She already got kids. She's already in her mid to late 30s, and she considers herself a 5. So if you already have these things, in some instances, some people will say these are strikes against you or whatever. Mm-hmm. But for the average guy who's like, okay, I want to get with a girl that I can start a family with, you've already started your family because you already got kids. That's one thing. So he's already looking at it like, okay, I got to deal with your baby daddy who may or may not show up, and then hear about you complaining about him may or may not showing up or may not paying anything. So not only are you picking up the tab of that, but maybe I have to pick up some parts of that tab as well.
Right.
He may or may not want to deal with that, which is why some guys don't want to date girls who already have kids. Same reason being for some females who don't want to date guys who already got kids. I don't want to deal with baby mama drama. Your baby mama crazy. If that bitch slashed my tires, if she busts out my windows, while we're dating, things have happened. One of my friends back home got murdered by her fucking boyfriend's baby mama. That shit happens. Right. So guys don't want to deal with women who have kids already. Same reason being the other side. So yes, your pool shrinks because there may not be as many people who are looking for people who are in your demographics in the dating pool. It's not wide or as large as you think. Some people just don't want to date right now. Some people, you're like, yeah, I want to date. I'm trying to find somebody. I want to get married. But if you are, let's say, 215 pounds, you're not going to be appealing to someone who's looking for someone who's 150 to 160 pounds.
That's what
whatever preference is. It's whatever their preference is. But you can't say what you can't do, but it's no pool.
Why do you think there's a pool? So okay. So if I was a single person, or I'm gonna just jump on board and say I think that his statement is correct. There are certain things that if you come to the table with, go ahead, Greg. What do you want to say, Greg? I want Greg to speak.
There is no pool if you're single. You got a whole goddamn everything. Everything is at your disposal.
Anybody you meet, you don't know.
And I disagree. I disagree. So, okay, I agree with that statement, but that's not what I'm saying. All right, if I'm gonna go to high school, college. All right. If I go onto a college campus and that is the pool, that's the pool right now. Let's use the college campus as the pool. And if there is a group or a subgroup of men on that campus that choose not to date Black women, that's fine. Those men are no longer in that pool. They are in another pool. They're out my pool. Then if there's a man if there's dudes who are short and they got, Napoleon syndrome and don't want to date women taller than them, then those men are now out of the pool. That, you see what I'm saying? Every time that there is a characteristic that you may have that does not, that's not something that somebody in the pool wants, the pool changes. So in turn, with me saying, like she said, not all dudes like thick chicks, although we come in to be, what is it, the norm now, but not all dudes like thick chicks. So every dude in that pool who doesn't really care for thick chicks, they're no longer in that pool. They're no longer accessible to me. And so then go another step further. If I have children from a previous relationship, whatever, any man that's in that pool that doesn't particularly date women with children is out of that pool. Hence, the pool gets smaller of what you, as he would say, Kevin Samuels, qualify for.
What's available to you, basically.
What's available, because it, and I will just say this, it is very difficult for individuals who may not fit into those categories to understand what the fuck we're talking about. You don't understand what we're talking about if you don't fit in this category. And I cannot stress enough how difficult it is, because it's not difficult now, because I found my person. And I had to go into a whole other country from someone from a whole other country.
And that, but see, that's what I want to get
to find my fish in the pool. But here in this country, as superficial as this country can be, they can be, and it's not right, but they are. There are several relationships that I missed because I wasn't thin enough or quiet enough or this enough or that enough for that particular person. But they will clearly watch Kela walk by and she just as loud and arrogant as I am. But they'll look at Kela because Kela fits what they wanted.
But is that's the problem.
That's the pool.
The pool you're talking about is, I guess, because you're dealing with people that have, quote, an opinion, but I can relate to it. I have been without, and I find, because, sometimes, we talk, but my thing is to relate my lifestyle, because if we don't, then I feel like I avoid the people that are gay. I avoid the people that are men. I avoid the people that are skinny. I avoid the people that are too dark, because skinny people get voided too.
Right, I heard.
Don't fit. So I know what it feels like and it looks like, but for me, I just think when it comes to what's going on, I have, since I can remember thinking maybe at 12 years old about, men and women getting together in relationships, I've seen all kinds of women get with all kinds of men. I've seen all kinds of men get with women. I've seen men with men and girls, and I'm like, well, what is it? I always say, well, what is it about me? Whatever the case may be. I do believe that, like you said, I hate to say it, sometimes you have to go away to a culture. The key word is a culture where it's more open and more available. Because to me, the man, he's speaking once again out of his tradition. He's speaking out of what is documented. But most of these men that say like, yeah, I ain't gonna mess with no fat girl, I ain't gonna do that, they be the first one pouncing on her in the closets, in the bedrooms. And
we very aware of.
Yeah. So that, for me, that's where I say, yes, there is a pool of, I hate the word pool. I would say there is choices that people pick and choose out of what is socially correct. I never believe that. I never believe that people actually, because we all lie. We all lie. When growing up, we all had told some kind of lie to fit in some kind of box or some kind of way. And you may go back and say, I ain't never lied. No, think about it. We've all kind of bend our truth and knowing full well, no, I don't really like going to movies. Oh, no, I don't really want to be around that person. Or no, I don't like that guy. But in real life, like, I think they're kind of cool. Or I think they're kind of cute. But they're not going to take the social defiant risk to go and find out what it is, because I think it's a social standard of what beauty is. And I feel like this man, for me, out of people that are quote professional and did what they're supposed to do, instead of it feeling like I'm going to someone for a real professional opinion, I'm going to a man that has a sexist personality, that got in the profession, that he loved making brothers look good and different people look right and look tight, got around a bunch of money shakers and shoulder movers and stuff, and got popular. And as he got popular, people start asking him your advice. Like, people come up to us, as you get more popular, people want your opinion on things, but your opinion don't make you a professional. And I feel like he does not give me a professional opinion. He's just giving me a personal opinion. And that's the difference I felt like in this whole thing, and I get it. I agree with everything to a degree, but I feel like this whole conversation you had with the girl, it was like, she coming regardless to you as a professional. So you should handle it as a professional. You should have cut it off as a professional. You should have conducted it as a professional, but you didn't. You actually handled it like who you are. You gave
that's how he handles his clients.
But this is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is where we can always agree to disagree. I disagree in the nature of how he handled it. I don't disagree with the things he said. And when it comes to pools and all that kind of stuff, I've always believed that what appears to be the majority is really the minority. Do not think just because we see a bunch of people on TV picking all these girls and all these guys at a certain status quo, that's it. Because I'm talking from my personal being. For the years that I've been on this earth and lived, I've just seen nothing but, I don't see dudes with Kim Kardashians. I don't see them with these high maintenance girls. I don't see these dudes, these girls with these high maintenance dudes. I only see that on social media. But when I'm walking on this earth and I'm walking in this world, I see some regular ass shit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So for me, it's like sometimes people, I feel like, social media is so powerful that it allows you to really believe the reality of something, but it's not the truth of something. I mean, look at all the people in the world. How many people we have in the world? But when we get on these things, we see a certain kind of reality, but I just don't think it's the truth. And I think that we have bought into it because it makes money.
I agree with you about that to an extent, but I'm talking about going back to a time where social media was not the norm. It was not what was.
It was the same way. It's the same way.
Right. I mean, I'm saying maybe television and magazines reflected that, but social media was not the culprit in '95.
And in '95, I still saw big girls winning. Yeah. In '95, I still saw.
But a lot of them weren't. A lot of us weren't.
And but what I'm saying is, I come from the negative. And so for me, I'm speaking more of the negative. Like, I haven't seen per se me winning yet, but I'm not saying it's not going to happen. But what I'm saying is, just looking around me, I just didn't see that. And I travel.
And you know what, Cabana? I agree with what you're saying. I'm agreeing with you because a lot of us didn't allow you to see it. We don't, just because we not dragging our heads and looking busted going through the hallways of high school doesn't mean that we ain't going through it.
No, I'm not talking about that. That's the difference. I'm talking about physical relationships.
I know that. And that's
the quality, high standard of what we're saying. I seen it, I get it, but it wasn't the majority. I've always had that, what you said earlier, like, dang, how he get with her? And dang, how she get with him? And how did that work out? I'm totally confused. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've had that all along. I just think that sometimes we perpetuate that other truth as it being like, oh, that's the real deal. And I don't think it is.
Okay. We're going to agree to disagree on that. That might be a whole other show because we're going to have to disagree. All right, so we can go roundabout for the closing out of Kevin Samuels, this image consultant who dragged this girl on his show. So roundabout for everybody to take us out. I'm definitely going to save Kela for last because I know she's going to blast the hell out of this man. So Cabana, would you like to go first?
I'll go first. Okay. I would say this is one of my favorite shows so far because the beauty of discussion is great. And I think that in life, realize that no matter who you go to, us, our opinion is just our opinion. Who you are is really who you are. And what I learned from the show, from watching The Gentleman, is that don't go anywhere unless you really know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, go find somebody that actually cares about you to tell you the truth, that you don't have to go on a public platform to learn a very public lesson. I think it's very important that some things are not always meant for the public, and you can get dragged in private.
Okay, I like it. Mr. Tyrone Greggory.
Listen, all my average people out there.
I love you.
If you ever see Willie Lump Lump out there,
Come on,
Kardashian type of woman, and you want to know how the fuck did he?
I already know where he's going. I already know where he's going.
Listen, it's very simple. Go ask that motherfucker. How the hell did you get her?
Huh?
He will tell you. He doesn't even know. There's no rules to this game.
No.
I repeat, there are no rules to this game. If she wants you, she will have you. I concur. Everything.
Come on, Sensei.
in that woman, I concur. I don't agree with his delivery totally. But listen, there's no rules to this game. If you want her, go try. You never know. She may spend some of her 6 figures to fix your face.
Come on, fix your face.
You want her?
And vice versa.
Go get her. And listen, ladies, we make this money for a reason. We want to use it. Give us a reason.
Give us a reason.
I love you all. Love, and push positivity.
I love him.
Yes, bubble gum.
Hey, so I just realized that I missed a bunch of comments on both. I'm gonna go to Candice next, but I want to make sure I hit these comments. I'm not going back to the craziness between Lance, Marcus, and Denise. We're gonna let that stay where it is. Fawcett said the FUPA is the truth. Marcus said, I just got off of active duty military and my pool has increased due to me being limited. Believe in yourself, stay true to yourself. The right people will be attracted to that. Everyone has something to offer someone, whether they know they do or not. And I don't know who Lance is talking to about a safe word, but I'm gonna let him figure that out with whoever that is. So there's a whole other posting that I totally did not see that some people were posting in. And he would, but I will just say at some point he said, Candice facts, 100%. I'll tell you, especially in older years, men really ain't trying to be a stepdaddy. You would be really surprised of what men say about that topic. Your pool is only where you hang out or go throughout the city. That's facts. Thick chicks save lives. USA got it fucked up because the standards aren't real or achievable. Hence, so many single people in this country. Blaq is telling the truth. Everyone meets the representative before the true person as the relationship goes on. Let's not talk about getting married. Oh, buddy. And last but not least, he says, I love this show. That was my boy Lex. Hey, what's up, Lex? This is our cop that was on our show.
Oh, what's up?
That's him. Look, that was all him in a row. I was like, where'd these come from? So yeah, he's been watching apparently. So thank you guys. We appreciate you guys supporting us. Oh yeah, and Tyrone Gregory Lex said 100% what you said. Fact. All right, go ahead, Candice.
I'll say that for anyone who still is out there dating, don't settle for what society thinks that you should just accept. Know your worth and stand on it. Be confident in what yourself is and understand who you are and then what you're capable of bringing to a relationship and how you can build with whoever that person is. Also, for everyone out there that thinks that there's going to be some happy fairy tale ending that Disney created, and everyone thinks that this is going to be the end all to be all, and we're going to have this white picket fence, and I'm going to have the 2 cars and the 2 kids and a dog and a cat. Look here. I'm gonna need for y'all to join the rest of us here in 2020 with the rest of this fuck shit that's going on in this country. We're trying to make it through. So as you're trying to date, let's be cognizant here. Let's be real here. Also continue to be safe. Because even when you're trying to date and you're trying to go out, it's going to be kind of hard to try and go to a restaurant, and you're trying to wear your mask, you're trying to be safe, you want to go out on a date, you want to take your lady somewhere cool, you want to take your dude out, show him a good time. We got a whole global pandemic going on right now. So things are completely different than where they were a couple of years ago. Fingers crossed this shit ends soon, and we don't have to deal with this for the next couple of years.
Right.
I not saying anything about that vaccine because that's a whole.
We'll talk about it. We're going to. Not today.
While we trying to move forward, just be you. And if they gonna love you, you gonna love all my rolls. You gonna love all my stretch marks. You gonna love whatever moles I got in whatever different places.
Come on.
Want to see it. If you want thick thighs to warm up the side of your ears, then that's what's gonna happen.
Come on here. Come on.
But you got to be you in order to get to that point. That's all I'm trying to say. So as I'm going out, wash your hands and wash your ass. Please brush your teeth too behind that mask, and wash your mask, because you gonna pass out somewhere with your in your own mask. And I can't save you because we're not doing mouth to mouth right now. So y'all stay safe. I love y'all, and we appreciate y'all for tuning in.
We're gonna save you with a bike pump.
I need a t-shirt. Fast to your ears. Come on.
And Miss Kela Mahogany.
Is that a bike pump?
This man. The reason why he did not put anything, he didn't use words like strong, independent, holds her own, any of those characteristics in what a high value woman is because he does not want it. It intimidates him. It actually does nothing for his clients. If your clients are so high value, why are they not already in relationships? How are you setting these women up with your clients if they are like, I thought they were supposed to be taken care of and they are the cream of the crop?
Come on here.
How do you even have a business?
Maybe they butterfaces too.
And this is what I'm saying. Like you're over here saying he can have this, like he just has to have all this material stuff that can be gone in an instant as soon as the government says that it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Pay as much of your taxes, you can go bankrupt, whatever. We can be in a recession, depression, but what is that man? You said nothing about what that man was at the end of the day. You said what he has. And so he brings no value to this woman, so you cannot be a high value man. Because if material things are the only things that you're bringing to this woman who's going to because mind you, if you want her to be that way, you want her to be a caring person, that she will take you, mold you, and you will be 10 times better than when you came. And so you want to then not feed anything into her. It's like watering a plant. She will then die and you won't you won't have what you want. So what kind of business system is this? What kind of business model is this? Is it one where you can just feed off of saying how women need to do better? Between the ages of 27 and 35, do you know how educated these women are today? That age group in particular, a high value man and a high value woman. So anyways, your pool is as big as you want it to be. Like if you want to keep yourself in a, I can only have the people in this circumference, then that's all you're going to do. But your pool, there is no pool. We can only be with one person. So your connection, like meaningful connections, are much better than having a plethora of people to choose from. And I didn't get to chime in earlier about, like thicker women, but I think skinnier women, every single one of us has something that was not desirable to a group of people. at some point in time. That's all I'm saying, is that we are all going through this together. We are all in the same damn fight, doing it to each other.
Right.
Like, we are doing it to each other. And so, you know, we can't be with an infinite amount of people. Focus on yourself, get yourself right, and then you will be able to attract the person that is for you. Everybody else doesn't matter. Like, you guys have to be able to grow that, because it's really what the relationship is, what you want to stick with, is that you found a person to create a full relationship to where you want it to last forever. So all of these things, do you come with this? Do you come with that? Can you connect with the person? Because when shit gets hard, all that damn money, you know what I'm saying, doesn't matter. So Samuels, sir, lower your tone, learn what a cane corso is while you out here so high value. You don't even, you talking about name that dog in English. Sir.
Get it snatched from the valley of stupid.
You're so high class, you make 6 figures, so that means you what? You're more educated and you don't know what a cane corso is, sir?
Well, and that's the serving of the day.
Yes, it is.
But thank y'all for tuning in.
So my last words would be this. Based on the qualifications, I guess you could say, of what a high value man is, I will say that I believe I've probably encountered 1 or 2 high value men. And I walked away because I did not want to conform to what they wanted me to be. I didn't want to be that person. And I think that in this life that we live, it is about choice. And so I didn't want to be that, in that box. I didn't want to be in that box with those particular high value, quote unquote, men. It wasn't interesting to me. I don't care about your network. Don't care about your net worth. Don't care about if you are accepted by a group. I care about your utility, your usefulness to the world, as well as me and my family, your usefulness. And the amount of money a month, I really don't care. Money has never been something that moved me from the beginning. So I think if this works for what he's doing, then do you, sir. Do you, if this is what works for you and your clientele. I feel that people want what they want. At the end of the day, whether they are rich, high value, low value, average as hell, I don't care. Everybody has what they want. You know what you want. You want what you want. I also feel that if you just happen to be not what that particular subsection wants, move the fuck on. Just move on. Stop trying to put that square peg into the round hole. It doesn't.
Right.
Find the hole you fit in. Stop trying to force it. And I really feel that this girl was trying to force herself into something that she may not be ready to be in. I really do. But I also felt that the premise that she walked into this with was wrong from the jump. Yeah. It was wrong from the jump. If she would have come a different way, maybe. Yeah. You know, she not once mentioned love. She not once mentioned love, loyalty. I'm looking for someone who will help, who can help me raise my son. I'm looking for somebody who can help me, I didn't hear any of that stuff. And so that is what turned me off to her from the jump. And so I felt that all the other things that were being thrown her way after that point was fair game. That's in this particular instance. I will just say, ladies, find more to your life than just trying to be somebody's
trophy wife,
trophy spouse. Try to find more meaning. Even a trophy wife, I'm hoping she volunteering somewhere. Do something. But I'm really concerned with this younger generation that's coming up, what their expectations are of marriage, what their expectations are of relationships, and what they think they're owed and what they think it's going to be. I'm really concerned. I'm concerned for my son, as I have said in the past. I saw somebody on Facebook, and then this is my last thing. I saw somebody on Facebook about a week ago. It was a young man, and he said, ladies, are y'all teaching your daughters to request money via Cash App before they give a phone number? And I was like, is this a thing? You know what I mean? And he said, yes. Men will go up to women and ask for their phone number. And they feel that if you want me to give you my phone number, then you can Cash App me. Or I own a business, I sell, I don't know, shirts. I need you to buy this $20, $30 shirt or whatever before I give you my phone number. And I was like, yo, that's like lower level prostitution, my friend. And I said, not only one, I'm glad somebody brought that to the forefront, that somebody's teaching their daughter this so that I can teach my son to dodge them damn Decepticons. I can't.
Right.
The streets
avoid them at all costs.
Avoid them at all costs.
Hey,
at all costs. I shouldn't have to pay you
smart.
nothing for a phone number.
That's in a song. You know, all this new stuff is coming from these songs.
It might, but
no,
that's
it is.
nonsense.
It is in the song. It stemmed from the Birkin bag thing, and then this girl group, they're not known. They put it in a song, and now that's trending.
Yeah, that needs to not trend. You teaching your child to be a prostitute.
I don't think the parents are. I think it's a artist.
Yeah, it's an artist.
Well, whoever that artist is, I need to hear that song.
Yeah.
I need to hear it.
It's a lyric. It's not the title. It's a lyric. I find it for it's a lyric.
Got you. Marcus said, I got a story. He said, Cash App be in a profile. It's in their profile.
Yeah.
Generation, they like, shoot, I ain't wasting my time.
Yeah, exactly. Look, forget a resume, put a deposit down on this relationship. That's
on this conversation.
They said you're gonna pay me for my time.
Without sacrifice, there can be no victory. And on that note, we are closing out this damn show. We love y'all. Catch us on all 16 of our platforms. We will be live again next Sunday. If you couldn't catch us live, hit us up on any other platforms. If you got the platform, we're on it. We love y'all. Peace. Thank you for turning in. Peace. Y'all, this show.